What's up guys, Jake SLEASMAN, Blue Collar Outdoors, and today we're putting a 12 gauge setup versus a 410 setup at 40. Stay tuned. Alright guys, so we see it a lot. A lot of guys saying, why should you hunt with a 410, calling guys babies, girls, all the fun stuff. So today what we're going to do is we're going to put a 410 setup against a 12 gauge setup. So here is what we're going to shoot. First, in the 12 gauge, I got a Franchi Affinity 3 with an Indian Creek 665. We're going to be shooting the OG, the old trusty Winchester Longbeard XR. This is a 12 gauge, 3-inch, going 1200, ounce and 3/4 payload of number 5s. A lot of birds have went down to this setup right here, so we figured this would be a good 12 gauge load to run with because a lot of guys do it. Then in the 410, we got the Mossberg SA 410. We got the Carlsons Heavyweight TSS 380 Constriction in here. We shot this last week with the Browning TSS. This is a 3-inch, 13/16 ounce of 9s, traveling 1100 feet per second. This setup shot that load almost way too tight at 40 yards. So we're gonna put these two side by side. You know, Indian Creek in a 12 gauge with longbeard is a great setup. So we'll see, do you need to carry that extra weight, or can a 410 hold its own against a 12 gauge, a good 12 gauge setup? So let's get to it. Okay, so first up we'll do the 12 gauge. Once again, the old tried and true Longbeard XR, Franchi Affinity 3 with an Indian Creek 665. I'm gonna shoot the left target at 40 yards, so let's get to it. A little left, maybe?
A little left. But it looks like it's pretty tight right behind that.
That's going to be hard to beat. That's going to be real hard to beat. I shot a touch left, it looks like, but that looks tight. Longbeard's hard to beat, boys. Let's see how the little 410 can do. All right, so now we got the Browning TSS and the Mossberg SA 410. We're running with the Carlsons Heavyweight TSS. It's a 380 Constriction. Right target, 40 yards. Let's see if it can hold up to the old 12 gauge. That just shoots right. Okay, so we shot both. Once again, we had the Franchi Affinity 3 with the Indian Creek 665 and Longbeard. Then we had the Mossberg SA 410 with the Carlsons Heavyweight TSS 380. So let's go down, let's check out the pattern side by side. We're going to be doing a lot more of this 410 versus 12 gauge, 20 versus 12, all the fun stuff. So let's go see how the first one went. See if the old 410 kept up. Let's get to it.
Jackson.
All right, so after last week shooting the Mossberg SA 410 with the Carlsons and the Browning and seeing it shoot, as you guys saw, a beach ball at 40, we thought this would be a great setup. Well, I'm going to tell you right now, 12 gauge took the notch today. Let's look at the Franchi Affinity 3 with the Indian Creek 665 with Longbeard XR at 40 yards. So we'll look at that first. All right, as you can see, the 12 gauge Longbeard shot just as Longbeard always does. I mean, that is a lot right there. I mean, there's like 20 hits right here. I mean, that is tight. That shot really good out of that setup. Now, that Franchi was deep cleaned, and that was the first shot with it. But guys, Longbeard just always shoots like that. It's a lights out load. And once you get out, I mean, you do have some flyers, but for the most part, your shot is right here. I mean, that shot phenomenal. So that's about what the Carlsons looked like last week with the 410, but you'll see, it did not look like that this week. But you can see here, that's really tight. You don't have a lot of leeway at 40. I mean, Longbeard is just tried and true. It is an outstanding load, and if you can't get TSS and you got a chance at Longbeard, I'd buy it, because I mean, it shoots like that out of almost every choke we've put it through. It's just a great turkey load, and it has been for a long time. Well, let's jump over, look at the 410, and watch the 410's loss. Okay, so as you can see, this setup we already put the pattern test on the channel already, and it shot a beach ball at 40, and it was way too tight. Now today, it shot like shit. I mean, there is no ifs, ands, or buts about it. It's centered. You got some hits there, but most of your pattern is on the outskirts of this backer. I mean, it just shot like garbage today. I don't know what the difference was. I mean, the barrel's pretty dirty probably now, but to see how it shot last time, I mean, it looked like the longbeard at 40 yards last week. And then to shoot it again and see it shoot like this, man, that's not what we thought was going to happen. I mean, after seeing, like I said, last week it was outstanding, and then today it just shoots like that. It also could be Browning is not a hand load, it's mass produced, but so is Winchester Longbeard XR, so there's really no argument and excuse there. I mean, it's night and day. 12 gauge takes the win here, it's not even close. But we will keep doing these tests for sure, because they're just too fun not to. Not really much to say about it other than the fact that it took a complete 180 on the performance. I don't know if it's the weather or what, but it did not shoot good today. Alright guys, so once again, the 12 gauge setup was my franchi Affinity 3 with an Indian Creek 665 with Winchester Longbeard XR 3-inch. My 410 setup was the Mossberg SA 410 with a Carlsons Heavyweight TSS 380 and Browning TSS. I mean, had this shot like it did last week, it would have competed with that every bit of that tight pattern. But today, we don't know what it is, if it was weather, dirty barrel. This shot, atrocious. I mean, it's not even close. The 12 gauge takes the win here, hands down. I mean, there is a lot of hits right there. Longbeard XR is just tried and true. Shoots good every time. This Browning, now that's where you get your consistency in a hand load in the 410s over mass produced. That could be just a really good shell last week. So in the 410 versus 12, notch 1 for the 12 gauge. We are going to keep doing this though. We're going to put a bunch of different setups head to head, 410 and 12, 410 and 20, 20 and 12, etc. Because it's just fun to test these side by side and see how the differences are in the gauges in different setups. So there will be more of this. Alright, so as I said, we're going to be doing this more. The Carlsons let me down today. And I mean, it shot great last week, and that's atrocious. That shot like crap. But the 12 gauge with the Longbeard, that gets the W today. But like I said, we're going to be doing a lot of these cross gauge testing just to see how TSS changes the game. So this is just a start, but notch 1 for the 12 gauge right now. That's not even close. It's not even close at all. But guys, if you haven't yet, make sure to smash the thumbs up button. Hit that subscribe button. Hit the notification, turn it on to all for the channel. That way you do not miss out on all the content we got coming. I mean, we have videos every day, sometimes 2 a day. As you guys know, there's just so many turkey combinations to pattern, and we're trying our best to get to all of them, but there's just not enough time in the day. There just isn't. We're doing our best. We're trying to get as much as you can, so make sure you get your notification bell on to all so you do not miss out on any of these pattern tests. We got some killer ones coming as the weather warms up. Oh, I can't wait. We got a lot coming. But guys, this is Jake SLEASMAN, Blue Collar Outdoors, and today the 12 gauge gets the W over the 410. Pretty easily. But we'll catch you on the next one.